Hello and welcome back to Old Trafford, the home of Honestly Biased Sports content. How we doing, folks? This is a long walk. I'm exhausted watching. Mate needs to invest in a car or a bike at least. Mate is waiting for United to win the league for that, or at least 3 wins in a row. Give me 3 wins in a row any day. Lads, I apologise, but what I don't apologise for is the fact that all of the negative Nellies that have been exaggerating about how bad Manchester United's season has been so far, even though we're only, 4 games in? Gents, we have more points than Man City. Now, don't get me wrong, Man City have been their own type of awful, but we're top half of the table. We are a mere 5 points off the top of the league. I'm feeling good. He's finally home. I am home. I'm sorry. That walk, I mean, it tricks you, man. It makes you think, oh, I'll be there in about 10 seconds, but for some reason it's like you're on a bloody loop. Don't know why. Trufordians, Ethan Johnson, how you doing, man? Ladies, we're ahead of City on the table. We are indeed. Now, gentlemen, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is we are in the top half of the table. The bad news is I am going to be AFK for the next week. So no live streams for the next week during the international break. I am out of the country, but I will be coming back with a bang, and best believe, guys, you're going to see a run of content that you've never seen before. Where you heading, admin? Oh, that's a very secret thing there, Nav. I mean, before I know it, if I tell you where I'm going, people are going to look at flight logs, all of this sort of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm going somewhere in Europe. He's coming to the USA. I am not. Admin on holiday. Where you off to? Somewhere in Europe, guys. Somewhere in Europe. But I know what Ken's and Nav and Memlot are like. They've got like a whole dedicated group chat where they just stalk people trying to find out who I am. So all I can say is I'm going to Europe, but that's about it. He's going to South America to scout for a new 6. I mean, don't even have to go to South America, mate. We've got a 6 lined up in Baleba. That's only a matter of time. Scouting a new goalkeeper. Guys, let's go over the news. So, first and foremost, Unai Emery. I don't know if you guys have seen this clip, but Unai Emery, before the match against Crystal Palace tonight for Aston Villa, in the pre-match interview, was asked a number of questions about Emi Martinez, and this was his response. So, Unai Emery, when asked about Emi Martinez not being in the Aston Villa squad tonight, he responded with Bizzet, Marco Bizzet. And then the interviewer asked, where is Martinez? And he just responds with Marco Bizzet. Then he's continued to be questioned on the lack of appearance from Emi Martinez, and Unai Emery is asked, will he be your future keeper? And he responds, Marco Bizzet. If anyone's not seen the clip, I'll put it in the chat for those who have Twitter, because very funny clip from Unai Emery. I don't think he's taken the news very well that Emi Martinez will be leaving his squad. What up, boss? How you doing, Double I? Good to see you, man. What else do we have for you? So everyone wants the latest and greatest regarding Emi Martinez. So let's catch up on today's transfer news, starting with... Because I'm not going to lie, guys, I think a lot of people were ignoring this story in the morning, but then they actually realised, okay, it's got some legs to it, which I always thought it did, because United are doing one of two things. They're either actively going for Emi Martinez, and they've changed their strategy because they think that we just don't have time for a younger goalkeeper. So they've completely changed the strategy, and they're saying, nope, we need Premier League proven. We need a Premier League proven goalkeeper, and that is why they are going in for Emi Martinez now. That's option one. Option two is that United are using this Emi Martinez agreed terms and getting close to him as a shtick to pretty much get Antwerp to give Laarmans to United for the correct price. So let me know what you guys think. Are United just using Emi Martinez right now as a kind of leverage piece against Royal Antwerp to get Laarmans, or have we just completely changed our transfer strategy and we're going for Emi Martinez because we need a Premier League proven goalkeeper and we're not willing to wait on the youngsters? Is that the case? Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, so Fabrizio Romano reported early this morning, but a lot of people kind of ignored it. Manchester United have made a new approach to Aston Villa for Emi Martinez, which, if I'm being honest, I don't think United would. As I knew that this was a real story, not only because it was Fabrizio Romano, but I mean, United, with 1 day left in the transfer window, are they likely to go in for a player that they thought that they couldn't get earlier on in the transfer window, unless they were absolutely sure that he wanted to join United and he was willing to do what it takes to get this transfer through? I don't think United would have done that. So I knew it was true based on that. Marco Bizzett is a Dutchie for straight red against United. Bizzett cost a penalty. How good is Martinez? Let's have a look at Martinez. Let's have a look at some of Martinez's stats. I think, first and foremost, for as far as mentality goes, he's exactly what we need in goalkeeper. We need someone who is going to just scream at the defence and actually, organise that back line and have some authority about them, because we know that Onana and Bayindir have no authority about them whatsoever. Other than that, let's look at some of Martinez's stats. So, post-shot expected goals, plus 0.10. So, he's in the top 90 percentile for crosses stopped. So, I mean, that's already a big improvement on Bayindir. He is in the top 59% for average length of goal kicks. Touches, he's in the top 76%. Save percentage from penalty kicks, he's in the top 86th percentile. And goals against, only 1.18. So he is in the... So I think it's a good thing that he's in the top 70 percentile for that. Save percentage, 57. So not amazing, but if you compare these stats to... Let's look at Onana's. I swear, if Onana's stats are better than these, then there's something wrong with these computers. Oh my god. You look at Onana's stats, all of them are in the red. So he's in the bottom. He's like, the highest score he's got is like he's in the 65th percentile for average length of goal kicks. And that's it. Whereas Martinez is in the green for almost everything other than goal kicks and not the length of goal kicks. He's in the... So he only has 4.4 goal kicks per 90, but I don't know why that's a judge on how good of a goalkeeper you are. But yeah, it's night and day difference realistically between Martinez and Onana. And I would imagine that Bayindir isn't going to be that far ahead either. So yeah, Martinez is a big upgrade. Nav, he's better than what we have. You don't get dropped from the squad if the deal is close, so I think we have up on Laarmans. What do you mean have up on... Oh, so we gave up on Laarmans. Yeah, I think Martinez will be coming to United. And if I'm being honest, I think it's the correct decision. I did put a poll out on the Old Trafford Instagram, who would people prefer, Larmans or Martinez? And I believe, let's look at the exact percentage. So 75% of fans, of United fans, believe that we should go for Martinez instead of Larmans. So yeah, 3 out of 4. I think that's really the correct choice. I mean, we've seen how good Mbeumo is and how well and how quickly he's just started from the jump. We need that in goal. We don't need somebody who is going to need to be trained up and we're going to have to wait around and keep bloody Bayendier in goal. The only way that this transfer could get even better, guys, is if Onana gets sold to Saudi or something like that. Because if he gets sold to Saudi, that would be music to my ears. I think everyone would be happy with that. And maybe he will if he thinks, okay, I'm not going to get any game time between when I'm behind Martinez and Bayendier. So maybe Onana leaves. Maybe he's forced out. We need a 6, says Vivek. Yeah, we're not going to get a midfielder. From what I've seen from all the reports from like Alex Crook of TalkSport, United aren't going to get a midfielder. I swear everyone is overreacting about this season because if you think about it, it's only the Grimsby game, isn't it? Otherwise, we don't look bad at all in the league and stats don't lie. That's a video in itself, Double I. I really do need to create a video for that, but I'll try and do that when as soon as I come back. Because I do want to provide some perspective to some people on how bad/good this season has been so far. So it'll be interesting. I have a feeling he lives off his World Cup performances. Nah, he's made some big saves in the league as well. And I think as long as he's not doing stupid shiz like getting sent off with a red card like he did with against us last season with the final game, then I'll be happy with that. I think Martinez will invigorate this team. It's very similar to what Martinez did when he came in his first season and he just full on gave us a whole new lease of life and it looked like the club had energy again and people were fighting and yeah, it galvanizes the squad, characters like that, and I think Martinez is going to do just that. Disclaimer, I'm not comparing, but this Emi deal reminds me when we signed Van der Sar from Fulham. I mean, that I hope you are onto something, Double I. I mean, if he can have half the career that Van der Sar's had, I think I'd be very happy with that. Thoughts on Lindelof going to Villa? That was a weird one to see, not going to lie. Lindelof going to Villa was very odd to see because I swore that he was quite heavily linked to Fiorentina, but then I imagine that Aston Villa offered more money. I think I saw a report saying that. So, yeah, it was interesting seeing Lindelof go to Villa. I mean, I wish he could have done that about 1 or 2 seasons ago, but oh well. I guess we're going to be playing against Lindelof at some points of the season. Then also in the Emi Martinez deal, guys, there was a report linking Jadon Sancho to it as he may be involved, but let's wait and see. People also making or highlighting the fact that Garnacho was signed to Manchester United for 200k and sold for 40 million, so made a hefty bit of profit there. What else do we have? So Chris Wheeler's reported that Kobbie Mainoo remains determined to leave on loan before tomorrow's deadline because he is disillusioned at being Bruno Fernandes's understudy and wants regular football ahead of the next World Cup. But realistically, I don't know. Realistically, Mainoo ain't going anywhere, especially with the injuries to Mount and Cunha. I do not see Mainoo going anywhere. We've also had a report from, who's this? Simon Mullock of the Mirror, Sunday Mirror, and he has said Manchester United's hierarchy fear Ruben Amorim could walk out and leave despite them winning against Burnley yesterday. The higher-ups remain confident that Amorim can turn around the team, but his behaviour has become a cause of concern for them. I'm not going to lie, I have no problem with any of Amorim's behaviour. I don't have a problem with him putting his feet up when Bruno Fernandes is about to take a pen. I don't have a problem with him being honest in the press conferences and saying that sometimes he doesn't want to be the United coach and sometimes he wants to stay here for 20 years. I think he's being very, very, very open and transparent with the fans, and I think that's what the fans want. I think we've always wanted a coach that is going to come out and explain why they're doing what they're doing. And Ruben Amorim is exactly that. So I don't see how all of these fans that were begging Amorim to come in and doing all of these hype videos about him and now saying, "Oh, okay, we need to get rid of Amorim." So it's just a bit lame, really. Seeing all of these people who were like days ago calling him disgraceful now saying, "Oh, I think Amorim can do this." Like, it's all just a bit lame. Sancho won't love living in Birmingham, lol. Poor guy, mate. Poor guy. But that's what he deserves. He could have been living in Rome, but instead he's going to be living in Brum. So good luck to him. McGrath, Mike. So Mike McGrath, who does he represent? Football reporter at the Daily Telegraph has reported that Manchester United have made an improved offer to Sen Lamans, down to player, medical today if he agrees. But I don't think it is down to the player. I think Royal Antwerp have now increased the price, which is why we're going for Emi Martinez. And on Emi Martinez, inquiries over Emi Martinez as a contingency option include talks over the possibility of Jadon Sancho going the other way. So could be two birds with one stone here if we are able to bring Martinez into the club as well as pushing Jadon Sancho the other way to Aston Villa. Hopefully the football gods are on our side for that one. Then what else do we have? Manchester United are considering making a move for Emi Martinez before Monday's transfer deadline, as reported by Simon Stone. Oh, what's this on Onana? People at Manchester United had questions over André Onana's physical shape to pick up a hamstring injury so early after reporting back from holiday. Amorim's judgment of picking Bayindir over Onana has been made in the context of him missing pre-season, says Laurie Whitwell. But yeah, the Manchester United hierarchy are questioning Onana over the physical shape he was in and how he picked up a hamstring injury so early when he returned, which is interesting. I think Onana's just milking it at this point. I mean, I think he just needs to be sold. Hopefully Saudi come in for him or someone, but he was offered to West Ham on loan, supposedly, and they turned it down. So yeah, I don't see any Premier League team in their right mind going with an Onana signing. Fabrizio Romano has also reported that Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Emiliano Martinez and approached Aston Villa. Kind of scary that they are only questioning that. I would question how he even ended up at the club. That's another great question, Christian. I think, yeah, at the end of the day, Onana's gone soon. He is going to be gone. I mean, Christian, what do you think about Man City dropping points? And also Arsenal on 6 points. Only 2 points more than Manchester United, by the way, folks. But let's see what else has come out. Emi Martinez is pushing to join Manchester United, said Fabrizio Romano. So I think Martinez is willing to throw Aston Villa under the metaphorical bus to get the move to United, which is always good to see. As we've said from the beginning of the transfer window, the board have only gone in for players who want to join Manchester United, and it looks like Martinez is willing to go that extra mile to guarantee that he gets that move. What else do we have? So Manchester United have made Sen Lamans their goalkeeper priority and are now speaking directly with Royal Antwerp. Deal has moved closer for the Belgian. So that's what Mike McGrath is reporting. But then Fabrizio Romano is kind of reporting something different. He's kind of going with the angle that Martinez is more likely to come to United. So who will it be, guys? Who do you think Manchester United will sign come the end of the transfer window? Will it be Sen Lammens or will it be Emi Martinez? 75% of Manchester United fans would prefer Emi Martinez, but let's wait and see. Watch Lickle City fans return to supporting United when Pep leaves. Oh, you just know it's going to happen. The storm is coming, but this time it's Ruben Amorim's storm. I feel bad for the two Hull City fans, and well, as for Stoke FC, well, do I even need to say anything? I mean, we're only 3 points behind you, Christian. I mean, the league is not determined yet, even though people want to write it off at the start of the bloody season. But, I mean, we're only 5 points off the top of the league. Crazier things have happened. What else do we have? After 3 games, Manchester City have less points than Manchester United. Lovely stuff. So this is as per Gaston Edul, who is saying Manchester United want Emiliano Martinez since the first day of this transfer window. The problem is not the contractual agreement with him. It is the agreement between Aston Villa and Manchester United that has to be unblocked. That still hasn't progressed. And this is a report coming 2 hours ago. As for the reports on Angelo Stiller, who we have heard whispers on throughout the transfer window, I don't know who this guy is, but apparently he was a reliable source, was saying that United were close to signing the midfielder. However, it's come out almost immediately after those reports that they were complete BS, leading to a lot of people calling him out for it. So Angelo Stiller is expected to stay at Stuttgart this summer as there are 0 negotiations underway with Manchester United. Be happy Amarinth saved his job and leave it at that. Admin, you scrape a win against Burnley with the help of a ref and start talking about top of the league. I don't know what to say. You say help of a ref, but I mean, he owed us a pen anyway, because that Mount challenge was definitely a pen. I mean, you can't argue with the facts, mate. You can't argue with the facts. What else? So yeah, obviously Emi Martinez has been left out of the Aston Villa squad tonight versus Crystal Palace. Aston Villa 1-0 down to Crystal Palace, by the way. So, I mean, yeah, it's not looking good for them. I mean, if Martinez does have to go back to Aston Villa and he doesn't get the move to United, I mean, he's arguably cost them at least a draw here, if not 3 points. So, don't know how favourable Aston Villa fans will be towards him. Cherky injured, not even playing 5 proper Prem games. I said it, Cherky style is more suitable for La Liga or even Serie A. Wrong career move, in my opinion. Yeah, Cherky never seemed like a Premier League style player, if I'm being honest. I was worried when we were linked to him, and I'm happy that we didn't go for him in the end. Stiller has more talent in that big nose of his than your entire midfield. He would be stupid to join you. He has real next season. Thoughts on Pep being washed, admin? I think he's done, mate. I think he's done. Give him 400 million to win. Guys, I will be back in 1 sec. Just got to open the door. Lads, I'm back. Turkey's style is more suitable for the local donut shop. Wow. Real Madrid. He has Real next season. No way is Stiller going to go to Real Madrid. I don't think he's that good, mate. I don't think he's that good, Christian. But what other news do we have? Emi Martinez is out of the Aston Villa squad tonight because he is really pushing to join Manchester United, and Jorge Mendes is leading the case. So super agent Jorge Mendes, he's going to get that deal done. Let's see the comments under this post of Sen Larmans or Emiliano Martinez. Oh, wow. So somebody's saying, mother fudgers keep talking about experience. Martinez has more error leading to goals than Onana. Why is Villa not keeping him if he's good? Both and ship R2 out. Very interesting. It would be interesting if we signed both Larmans and Martinez and then we literally managed to sell Onana and Bendir. Obviously unrealistic, but that'd be the dream scenario. Cruz has called him his heir at Real. Oh, you can never believe what Cruz is saying, mate. You can never believe what Cruz is saying. Okay, so that is all of the latest with Martinez, I believe. Aston Villa still in the mud against Crystal Palace. Let's see if we've got any other big transfer news for us. And I'm not talking about bloody Nicholas Jackson going to Bayern or whatever. So Isaac is still at Newcastle, isn't he? Do you think Isaac's going to end up going to Liverpool, guys? I'm not going to be able to do a stream tomorrow because I am away, which is annoying really because there's going to be a lot of activity, I believe, on the final day of the transfer window. This has been one of the busiest transfer windows, I think, that we've ever had. Yeah, he's gone to Poole. When is deadline day? Deadline day is tomorrow. Now he's going to stay in Saudi jail. Well, I mean, they've only got 24 hours to get that deal done, so it'll be interesting to see how much they pay for him. By the way, if any Prem fan compares Fergie to Pep, I'm not even going to entertain it. Pep in the prime Premier League era, going against bad boys like prime Arsenal, prime Chelsea, and eager Hungry City. Yeah, no. Realistically, Pep's a fraud, mate. I mean, he spent so much money, and as soon as real competition is coming around and other teams are spending as much as he's spending, what a surprise. They're not top of the league. That clip of Unai Emery just repeating Marco Bizot's name is so funny. Also, it's bad news for Arsenal because Arteta came out today saying on Saliba after the game, he twisted his ankle during the warm-up. He came in and said he believed he could carry on and play, but you could see after the first two actions and you could see he couldn't cope and we had to get him out. So that's arguably, well, without a doubt, probably Arsenal's best defender out. Don't know how long for, but we're going to see how Arsenal cope with that as well. Officially 23 hours until the British transfer window shuts, guys. Wow. Okay, Adrian Rabiot to AC Milan. Interesting. Oh my God, look at this. So 20 out of 28 accurate passes, 0% accurate crosses, 25% accurate long balls. Wirtz is not adapting the best to Premier League football, I would say. Do Liverpool win the league, admin? Well, I put City winning the league, and I know it's still early on, so I know that we can't laugh at City yet, but the signs are not good. The signs are not good, man. So my prediction's kind of out of the window. Do Liverpool win the league? You know what? You know what would be actually crazy? If United suddenly click. Or Chelsea. I feel like this season it's gonna be a Chelsea or United Premier League win. After seeing 3 games in the starting in the starting, I don't know, time of the league, I think Chelsea and Man United have been the most impressive for me. I think they're going to win. I think Liverpool haven't looked as good as they did. I think Arsenal really haven't looked that good this season. They were lucky to get the win against us, and they obviously lost to Liverpool. So I mean, they could have been on the same points as us, Arsenal. They were just lucky to get that win against us. I honestly think Chelsea or United are going to win the league this season now. I think my Premier League predictions were all wrong. I think Chelsea or United will win the league. I just need a keeper, any keeper other than Onana and Bayendir. Tops, good to see you, man. And fear not, Tops, because we will definitely either be getting Lamans or Martinez. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Saka out, Saliba out, Arteta out soon. The thing is, though, like, I honestly think with Arsenal fans, they have such little ambition that they would never call out Arteta. Like, I just don't think... I think they've been deprived of football, like, just even being in the conversation, that as long as they're mentioned among the top teams, they're happy. Like, that's all they care about. They don't care about winning a trophy. If they cared about winning a trophy, they can't justify Arteta not winning a trophy this year when we've spent so much money. How much has Arsenal spent this summer, guys? Does anyone know the number for how much Arsenal have spent? Because they've signed someone else recently as well, didn't they? They signed a midfielder for like 50 mil. Liked, thank you, Niche Fan. How you doing? Plus, from 92, Fergie never finished under 3rd position. So 21 years, never finished under 3rd. Do you know how crazy that stat is? That is crazy. That is crazy. And I just don't think anyone in their right minds cannot say that Pep Guardiola is a better manager than Sir Alex Ferguson. Arguably, you could say a better coach, maybe. But then, even then, no, because he needs the quality of players. If you don't give him the quality of the players, his system falls apart straight away. So you can't say he's amazing, can you? City will blow us, mate. We're not getting a midfielder. We aren't getting a midfielder, Niche Fan. You are correct. Why are they calling him Argentino Nana? Is that true? I saw a comment underneath something, Bakul. Good to see you, by the way. I saw a comment under a post saying that Martinez has led to more errors that have led to goals than Onana. So, I mean, is he the Argentino Nana? Maybe, but I don't think he is. No, admin, you know that ain't true. No, honestly, I think United or Chelsea are going to win the league. Admin, love the optimism, but chill, we are not winning the league. Guys. Manchester United are going to be up there this season. Best believe. We really will. Everyone is better than Bruno until it's time to be better than Bruno. Florian Osvert. If not United, I hope it's Chelsea. Madhu Osverts is crazy. Arsenal is prime Stoke. 293.5 mil this summer. Yeah, that's ridiculous. How much has United spent? We've signed 3 players for like 60 mil. What, like 180? We've only spent 180 mil and we've sold a bunch of players. Like, United, we're good, mate. I think we're set up for the next couple years to spend even more money, because the way that Arsenal can just justify all of this spending, it's insane. The way Chelsea get away with it is because people always want to buy their youngsters for some reason. I mean, if not Saudi come in for a bunch of their players, like getting that much money for João Felix was ridiculous. No creative player played today for them. A total of 1 billion in total. Oh my God. City need another 500 mil. Give Pep 500 mil or he retires. Squirts can't handle the Prem 003. Yeah, admin got no knowledge. What do you mean got no knowledge? Bro. Not admin missing the Auschwitz reference. I don't know. I don't know the law, guys. What are we talking about? Are you talking about like Auschwitz as in like, is that the joke? I thought it was, but I didn't want to throw that in there in case I feel like you can't make those jokes when it's a German name related to it. It's a bit of a dodgy territory, guys. Bit of a dodgy territory. But I don't know. Here you go. Have a joke sound effect. Okay. Let's move on. What other updates have come from today? Peter Schmeichel is quoted saying, Arsenal bring an ugly brand of football to our game. I don't know if that's a real quote or not. What else do we have? Has anyone else seen anything? I mean, I think Garnacho came out saying some pretty heinous quotes, but I didn't pay too much attention to that. I think it's purely the goalkeeper situation now. I think that is the final act of our transfer window. No player had more hair flicks than Victor Gyökeres in the Liverpool v Arsenal game. 79. Wow. I mean, what a stat. There's also the video of Victor Gyökeres doing his hair in the mirror of the barbers. Oh god, this guy's going to get roasted. Nacho, no Carrington boy. Nah, not indeed. He never was. He never was a Carrington boy. I don't think Carrington boys are gonna... He's a weird character, Garnacho. He really is. I mean, imagine being that talented as a youngster and then just like literally copying like the greatest of all time celebrations instead of just doing your own. Or I don't know. He's always come across as an interesting character. Also having a kid very young. I mean, what? He had a kid when he was like 19. I guarantee you we beat City 2-0. I feel it in my balls, says Tops. I mean, I'm telling you, Tops, United will be first or second in the Premier League this season. Mark my words. Well, maybe not first or second, but I do have a feeling if things go our way with injuries and stuff like that, and if maybe Šeško just suddenly unleashes. I mean, those Mbuemo crosses to Šeško in the last game, we're getting closer. We're getting closer to that link-up. And when that link-up comes, best believe, United are going to be winning some football matches. Remember, folks, if you are new to the stream, drop a like on the video and subscribe. If you are new, we are going to be going live every single day, covering the latest transfer news other than the next week. It is now 2-0 to Crystal Palace. Aston Villa are well and truly in the mud. I think losing Martinez is going to be a big blow for them. Liverpool, Chelsea, City, Arsenal will be the top four. I have not been convinced by City, Arsenal, and I'm still not convinced by Liverpool, but they still just seem to find a way to win, don't they? But City and Arsenal, definitely not. Definitely not. Just wanted to inform the chat that both United and Arsenal have a higher net spend than Chelsea in the past 5 years. Oh, don't talk about the past 5 years. Talk about the last two, mate. Talk about the last two. Fergie, last Prem season, won the league with Welbeck, Cleverley, Raphael, Evans, Jones, Smalling, Ashley Young, by the way. They played a big role that season. Don't say they were subs. Give Pep this squad. Let's see. That's the thing. Pep isn't a master of psychology or motivation or leadership or anything like that. He is just a crazy, in quotation marks, genius who has had talented players to work with his entire career. That's it. I think everyone deep down in their soul knows that obviously Pep Guardiola is not a better manager than Fergie. I mean, Jamie Carragher might say it to like troll United fans, but he knows deep down, like, Pep can't lace Fergie's boots. He's already cheating on his baby mums. Yep. Garnacho's just lame. Very, very lame. Aston Villa is finished. Yeah, Aston Villa are not going to look good, especially if they sign Sancho, because I don't know if you guys were here for that part, but there was a report saying that Jadon Sancho could be going the other way in the Martinez deal. So we could sign Martinez and either give Sancho on loan or maybe even a permanent transfer. Who knows? What else we got? I can finally enjoy Grealish ball again. I know it's been a while to see Jack Grealish actually playing some good football because he's been killed by that terrorist Pep Guardiola. Klopp over Pep, yep, I'd probably agree with that as well, Nav. Amorim's been sacked. I guarantee it. He won't manage another game. He looked completely dejected with his feet up. Wilcox and Barada looked incandescent. Niche fan, there was a report out today, sorry to break it to you, there was a report saying that the United hierarchy fully believe Ruben Amorim is the man to bring Manchester United back to the top. They're just worried that Ruben Amorim's going to walk out on the role and he's going to resign. So I don't think they're worried about sacking him. I think they're more worried about him just walking away from the job. Grealish is actually exciting to watch. Prime Grealish in like 20, I don't know what it was, when he was at Aston Villa. Man, what a player. Also in the Euros, in the 2020 Euros, it was England's go-to play was literally, okay, try and win the game or like play to a draw and then bring on Grealish and then we'd get a goal in the last 15, 20 minutes every single time. And then we finally got to the final. I feel for Foden, honestly. Hashtag free Foden. Where is Foden? What is Foden even doing? Let's look at Foden. Was he even playing today? I haven't heard his name in so long. So he didn't play today. He didn't play against Tottenham. Or he did, but he came off the bench. Has he started any Premier League game this season? I think he should have gone to United instead of City. The problem is that we had just signed Bruno Fernandes, so I think Jack Grealish, because Jack Grealish as well, he's not traditionally a winger. I think he was more of a attacking midfielder or central midfielder, Cam. And he did sometimes play on the wing though at Aston Villa, but then I remember there being an interview with Jack Grealish when somebody, I think it was a United fan, randomly asked him, come join United. And he said, you don't need me, you've got Bruno. So I think as soon as we signed Bruno Fernandes, there was no chance we were going to get Grealish. But I do think Grealish would have lit up under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think like a Christmas tree, mate. I think he would have been really good. At least Liverpool didn't get Isaac. We don't know that yet, Niche fan. There's still 24 hours left in the window. Grealish would have balled. Amorim with that City team would win the Prem. Don't know about that. Foden, been done for 2 years now. Yeah, 100% tops. The problem with Foden is that he became a jack of all trades but master of none. He never like pinned down just one position and said, yes, this is my position. Instead, he got fit here, he got fit there, and he's ended up just having pretty much a football identity crisis, is what's happened to Phil Foden. Isaac will have to go and play in Saudi. He won't be able to play in Newcastle again. Yeah, the fans, I don't think the fans are going to take him back. I think Liverpool have to pay up. I think Liverpool are going to end up paying like 140 mil for Isaac. City wanted to replace Pep with Amorim. They did. Next year, when his contract expires, that was one of the reasons they got Sporting's director. Yep. And Omar Barada obviously knew that they were going for Amorim, so he obviously decided to yoink him in while we could. What else has been going down though, lads? Liverpool obviously beating Arsenal 1-0 today. I thought Liverpool were really poor in the first half, but second half they managed a moment of brilliance. So Victor Gyökeres, a lot of people saying that he's going to stat pad this season. So against United and Liverpool, he's been completely absent, but then Leeds, he managed to get 2 goals. And people were saying this before he came into the league. People were saying that if you looked at Gyökeres's career, he is a flat track bully, and almost all of his goals come against the bottom 10 sides in the Portuguese league. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he fares at Arsenal, and if he may be the undoing of Arteta. Who knows? Both teams were poor and have looked poor for a majority of the games, to be honest. If Amorim gets sacked, which won't ever happen, I think we might get Xavi as the manager. Would we get Xavi? I don't know. Gareth Southgate. He's obviously looking for a job, isn't he? He plays through at the back. At that time, Rashford was balling, 1920, 2021 seasons. So even if Grealish came, I would have preferred Rashi. He had 30 plus goals and assists back to back. Yep, that's very true. I mean, the way Ole actually got us scoring goals, he made it look so easy. The fact Solskjaer's been sacked so early into his time at Besiktas as well, I think is really disappointing. Because I think he was actually doing all right with them as well. So Indy Kayla reposted Liverpool are about to submit another bid for Isaac. I wonder if they're going to do that tonight or tomorrow. They've got exactly 22 hours until the transfer window ends. Southgate, no, I want Ole back. Not Southgate. Come on, guys. He's got to get the, what's it called? Got to get the three-piece suit. Got to get the vest out. Come on, Southgate. Nah, not Southgate. If possible, Eddie Howe. I don't think Eddie Howe has it, if I'm being honest. I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's got the minerals to be a Manchester United coach. No way the Viking Frodo Baggins got sacked. Indy Kayla aren't trustworthy. Indy Kayla have been very trustworthy this summer, not going to lie. They've been one of the go-to sources, if anything. Not for United news, actually. For United news, they're pretty slow. But for the Isaac situation, they seem to know a lot. I did see one dodgy thing from Indy Kayla, which said, like, Real Madrid are not happy with Trent Alexander-Arnold, and supposedly he's going to be sold, so then they make like 40 mil profit. But I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. Okay, what else do we have? I think that's everything from today, folks. If anyone's got anything that I've missed, bit of news, let me know. Wow, Fenerbahce are closing in on Marco Asensio deal with Paris Saint-Germain. Man, Marco Asensio has really he's gone the João Felix route, hasn't he? He was always so impressive when he played for Real Madrid, but now he's off to Fenerbahce. Wow. What else do we have? I'm just looking at a clip here of Guehi. What's he doing? Oh, wow. That Guehi goal was insane for Crystal Palace. That second goal for Crystal Palace, wow. Admin, should I transfer Rodgers out of my team? Should you transfer Rodgers out of your team? Who would you replace him with, number one? Who would you replace him with? Because I don't think Aston Villa are going to do too well. I do not think Aston Villa are going to do too well, mate. Grealish, maybe. I think putting Grealish in would be a smart move, because I think Grealish is one of those players as well that's kind of made to be a big fish in a small pond. But the Villa fixtures are amazing. Now, I think Villa are going to fall off this season. I really do. I think you'd be making the right move to go with Grealish over Rodgers. What a player he used to be. Nah, Sensio had his moments, but the Super Cup Classico 2018, Champions League final in Cardiff 2017, the Bayern game in 2018. As for Felix, I literally can't remember anything about him. That's very true as well. I feel like Felix's career was mismanaged, if anything. I don't know. I think as soon as he moved to Atletico Madrid, it just killed him. Like he was such a skillful, like flary kind of player, but I don't know why he decided to go to Atletico Madrid under Simeone. Maybe he thought, okay, he did this for Griezmann, he can do it for me, but nah, João Felix really poorly managed, I'd say. That's a crazy goal from Guehi. By the way, guys, fun little fact for you. Top 3 for chances created so far in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes has created 12 chances. Anton Stack, 10. And Brian Mbuemo, 9. So we've got the first and the third players who have created the most chances in the Premier League. Update on the Cunha injury. Hope it's not serious. I don't believe it's serious. He has pulled out from the Brazil squad, so he will probably miss a couple of games, I'd imagine. But he was walking out of the stadium, so he wasn't in crutches or in a boot or anything like that. So not too serious. He moved to Atletico after 1 season. Yeah, I don't think... I read somewhere that it was a muscle injury. He was walking, which makes me think that it's not too bad. I'm hoping, anyway. Let's see. Let's see if there's any update on Cunha. Okay, bear with, guys. Just reading the article here to see if I can find Cunha. So Cunha, his injury is his hamstring. Cunha pulled up, clutching his hamstring in the win over Burnley. What else does he have? He's withdrawn from the Brazil squad. Amorim's hopeful the injury isn't too serious. This is what Amorim had to say. It was hard to lose Cunha and Mason Mount because Mason played 30 minutes with an injury. I'm concerned about that because they are so important for us. We will see. I don't know. We will check them. We need those guys really bad to be really competitive. Okay. So yeah, Amorim saying that he hopes it's not serious and it didn't look serious to him. But who knows? It could be a 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but I'd imagine it's going to be 2 that Cunha's going to be out. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best midfielders in the world. That's a fact, but sadly he can't play at the 8. I mean, I think he can as long as he's got the right partner. Put Baleba next to him, and I think Fernandes would absolutely cook almost every midfield in the Prem. That stat is both impressive and damning. Mason injured again. Ole, ole, ole. Terrible. Terrible, Christian. That stat is both impressive and damning. It is very damning, but again, it goes to show that the manager isn't doing anything wrong. I mean, like he's put the players in a system where they can create chances. So, I mean, it's on the players. One quote that I did like is from De Ligt. I don't know if you guys saw it, but De Ligt literally came out and said, it's on the players. It's nothing to do with Amorim. The players need to perform better. So, yeah, it's good to see that players are actually coming out and taking responsibility for that. Do you know what blows my mind, guys? I'll tell you what blows my mind. So I'm scrolling through Twitter right now, and I'm looking at a tweet from Alice Talks Footy. And this is the comment. If we can get a reliable goalkeeper, a DM who can cover ground, and Amorim can learn to adapt and control games late on, we will be all right this season. Oh my God. Do you see? This is what they do. This is what all of these Twitter accounts do, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's so annoying. Like, this is what these Twitter accounts do. So, okay, let me break this down word by word. If we can get a reliable goalkeeper, okay, yeah, agree with that. A DM who can cover ground, yep, sure. Okay, we need that to improve as well. Doesn't take a genius to see that. We can all see that. But then they have to throw in a little side diss at Amorim as well, don't they? And Amorim can learn to adapt and control games late on. We will be all right this season. What do you mean if Amorim can learn to adapt and control games? The players like Delo and the likes just literally let him down. How, oh my God, how do these people actually look themselves in the mirror? Like, random person on Twitter saying, oh yeah, if a manager can actually learn to adapt and control games, then we'll be great. I mean, how do they know? How do they know? How do they know anything about like bloody controlling games? What is going on? Oh, it's so cringe. I find that type of content creator really cringe. I'm not going to lie. When they think that they know more than the qualified manager who gets paid millions of pounds a year. Like, we can question their decisions, all of this sort of stuff, but as soon as like YouTubers and people like this pretend like they know more about tactics than bloody Ruben Amorim, I'm sorry, that's when I check out, and I'm just like, how do people eat up this shiz? How do people eat this up? Let me catch up with you guys. Guys, imagine Garnacho comes as a sub for the United game and scores and celebrates hysterically, lol. You know he is. You know he's going to celebrate big time if he scores. After 3 games, Bruno's created 17 chances and Wirtz has 0. I would have it as my screensaver, double I. She is jarring admin. I unfollowed her. I mean, it's just this is the thing though, man. Like, this is the thing that people do. They've got to keep their shtick up to create the illusion that they know more than the people that watch them. But like, at the end of the day, we all have our own theories and opinions and all of this sort of stuff. Like, you guys will probably know more than me about certain things. I might know more than you about other things. Like, I think that's the whole point of football fans, is that like nobody knows everything. Otherwise, you would be a manager. But when people pretend like they do know everything, man, it's so jarring. We have created the most XG and have the most touches in the opposition box this season, but change the formation, says Topswiz Fraud. Exactly, mate. Exactly. I best believe I'm going to do a large video on all of this shiz come next week when I'm back from the Hollybobs. But it's just it's so frustrating, man. Amorim fan club triggered. The 4-3-3 scores all those chances. Honestly, when I don't know if they're doing it as a joke or what, but if people genuinely believe that, they've got to be insane. If we played a 4-3-3, Ahmad would have scored that chance against Burnley. 4-3-3 makes Onana good. Nav, we played 4-3-3 under Ten Hag, and he wasn't good there as well, don't you think? Agreed. Rio is a United fan. Figo? 2.0, just saying. What do you mean by that? Fan Figo, what do you mean by that? It's not the formation, it's for players. Amen. Amen, Nav. Amen. Finally. But then still you're going to have people saying, oh, Ruben Amorim's a disgrace because one of his players gave away a pen. Like, come on. Come on now. You were a year late to the Ten Hag out club admin. You'll come around to the Amorim out club in time, I have faith. I was never Ten Hag out, and I still think if we kept Ten Hag, we would have finished better in the season and arguably could have won a trophy. But the only thing against Ten Hag, and the criticism which I will point in his direction, is the fact that he should never have had control over those transfers. He should never have had control over his transfers. That set the club back like at least 3 or 4 transfer windows. Just purely his decision making with those transfers. But Ten Hag as a coach is good. Ten Hag as a coach is good. You do not win 2 trophies and beat Man City in an FA Cup final if you're not a good coach. I'm sorry. Maresca gets sacked in 2 seasons. Maresca gets sacked in 2 seasons. What do you mean by that? Isn't Maresca former Leeds manager? Who's Maresca managing now? Oh no, he's not. Who's for Bielsa? Oh, I was confusing him with Bielsa. Maresca gets sacked in 2 seasons. Amen. Yep, he will. Poor Chelsea fans. Luis Figo. Wait, so Rio is a United fan Figo. What do you mean? Like, he's a... I don't get what you're trying to say, Double I. So Rio is Luis Figo. What? By the way, did you guys see that Ten Hag is getting sacked after 2 games? Apparently he is, which means that 3 former United managers could get sacked in 1 week, which is quite funny. Yeah, what even happened? Enzo Maresca admin. He is so jarring as a person, the players already hate him, plus the results are really bad. All he needs to do is sign about 20 Dutch people and then he'll be golden. He just needs to sign 20 Dutch players and then you're going to see Ten Hag ball. What other reports do we have for you lovely people? I don't think anything else has come out from United. Lads, this will be my last stream for a week. So I will be back next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I believe. So I will be back, not this Tuesday coming up, but the Tuesday after that. And we will be going hard on the content. I think we're going to balance it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to set a time to go live every single night. Not going to miss 1 single night from that point onwards. Hopefully for the remainder of the season. But who knows? Maybe Christmas, stuff like that gets in the way. But we're going to be doing that. And we're going to be releasing 2 videos a week on certain topics that are getting the fan base talking and stuff like that. So live every night around 7 or 8, and 2 edited videos every single week, as well as the match watch-alongs. And then we'll see from there if there's any more content that you lovely people would like. Ajax under Ten Hag, though. I mean, they kind of bottled it against Spurs, which isn't ideal. Rio grew up supporting United and now he's a Liverpool player, so he can pull the Luis Figo move, moving from Barca to Madrid, and became the most hated player in Barca history. What do you mean he's a Liverpool player? What? I'm so confused, Double I. Rio Ferdinand's a Liverpool player now. But gentlemen, we're going to call it an evening there. Hope you all, that youngster admin, young kid, Rio. Ah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy. Okay, I've seen like one clip of him where he said like he was rating David Beckham quite highly, wasn't he? I'm sorry, guys, I don't know too much about Liverpool youngsters. Sorry, guys. Who scored against Newcastle? Is the Newcastle game on at the moment? Who scored against Newcastle? Oh, Rio scored against Newcastle, did he? Yeah, he did. He did to oh, sorry guys, my head is all over the place. When did he? Yeah, he scored in like the bloody 100th minute. So corrupt, man, with Liverpool. So corrupt. They should, realistically, they should have a draw in that game. They should have a draw against Arsenal. And then they should be on roughly like 1 more point than us. He's a United fan. He's like 16. Maybe he could join United. Maybe if United get back to their ways, then we can lure Liverpool players over to us. But gents, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Hope you all have a delightful evening. Hope you all have a great week on the international break. And yeah, I'll see you all in a week or so. But for now, Godspeed.